I'm trying to find out what happened.
Okay, wasn't you just talking to her? Can she provide all them information to you?
Well, let me ask you this. What I was just talking to her. What if she told me that you beat the out of her and you jumped on top of her and started punching her in the face? Should I just go ahead and take that?
Okay, but don't you know?
It's your side of the story. Give your side.
All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying?
Gervonta Davis has broken his silence following his reported arrest and the cancellation of his fight with Jake Paul. Davis is now facing a new civil lawsuit alleging serious domestic violence incidents. So far, his team and coach have issued only brief public statements. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's November 14th event is in jeopardy as promoters conduct an internal investigation.
He's a lightweight. So, by all means, if they make a few quid and nobody gets hurt, then great. But I certainly wouldn't be paying a penny to watch it. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous, farcical. Who wants to watch an exhibition? Gervonta Davis is in his prime years. Why is he wasting his time? Why is he having a rematch with the fella he got a draw with? Why is he not fighting? Why is he not going up a weight and fighting Lopez and Garcias and them fighters? Why is he fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition? I get the money's great, but he's in the prime years. This is his best year. This is where he can become. Maybe you don't want to be an all-time great. Maybe you don't want to do all that stuff. Maybe you just want to.
A civil lawsuit filed in Miami-Dade accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. If proven true, these allegations could have major legal and professional consequences for him. As of the latest reports, this remains a civil case. No new criminal charges related to these claims have been filed yet.
WBC lightweight world champion Gervonta Tank Davis was arrested earlier this week for closed fist slapping his daughter's mother. What's a closed fist slap? Is it like this? Bro, you can't be closed fist slapping women. You can't be slapping women at all. But don't you know your hand is like Thor's hammer? Bro, you can go to jail for even flicking somebody, man. Don't you got a fight coming up? Or are you trying to ruin your career?
At present, Davis has not issued any detailed public statement explaining his side of the story. The first response came through his inner circle, with his coach saying that Davis is doing great and that they are trying to figure out what's going on. It was a short, cautious comment meant to keep the boxer out of the media spotlight while his legal and promotional teams managed the situation. Jake Paul's Most Valuable Promotions confirmed it has launched an internal investigation after the lawsuit came to light. Their statement condemned all forms of violence, emphasized that they are gathering information, and said they will decide on next steps after a full review. Technically, the fight remains on the schedule, but it could be postponed or cancelled depending on the investigation's outcome. Insiders now suggest the November 14th event is likely cancelled rather than delayed. As journalist Dame Mara posted on X, "I'm hearing it's being postponed. Not sure of the new date."
In the making, when a fairly novice Jake Paul made a wish list of future opponents, and right in the middle of that list was Gervonta Tank Davis. Many laughed at the time, and some still can't believe we're here. But these two young men are the face of boxing for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They are the two biggest boxers in America, and they are putting it all on the line. One has the speed, the skill, the accuracy, and the one-punch knockout power. The other has the size, the force, and the unbreakable confidence to make this must-see Netflix. The size difference is obvious.
The fight's rules and context added extra intrigue. Davis, a lightweight champion who typically fights between 135 and 140 pounds, was set to face Paul, who competes closer to cruiserweight. During the press conference, it was revealed that the upper weight limit would be 195 pounds with 12-ounce gloves, among other conditions. Davis publicly questioned the rule set, pointing out the size difference and the promotional spectacle. A sellout crowd could have made this one of the year's most talked about fights.
I want to watch is Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. I want Tank Davis to knock his block off. I'm sick of the Paul brothers, both of them. I can't stand either one of them. And I know I'll get pounded with emails. He's just jealous. No, I'm not jealous of them. I could care less how much money they make. I don't like their attitude. I don't like the way they conduct themselves. I don't like the way they think, you know.
Boxing fans across social media have grown increasingly skeptical of Gervonta Davis, accusing him of avoiding elite opponents such as Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez in favor of a more lucrative bout with Jake Paul. Critics argue that financial gain, rather than athletic challenge, is motivating his decision.
We wouldn't go ever fight no Shakur Stevenson, no Keyshawn Davis, no Teofimo Lopez, no, none of them dudes. You know what I'm talking about? We gotta think and look at Tank Davis's whole career. He done made some bread, but at the end of the day, all that bread that he made, when it's all said and done, he ain't gonna get no respect from his peers, because we gonna look down his resume and we gonna be like, he was trash, he was some trash, he was some trash, he was alright, but he was never like that. He was okay, he was some trash, he was some trash, he ain't.
Originally, Davis was expected to face Lamont Roach in a rematch after their previous fight ended in a controversial majority draw. The plan was for Davis to settle unfinished business and strengthen his legacy with a decisive win. However, when the opportunity to fight Jake Paul arose, offering a much larger payday and global exposure, his team shifted focus. Reports suggest Davis could earn around $50 million from the Paul fight. While veteran analyst Stephen A. Smith didn't outright condemn the decision, he noted how modern boxing priorities have shifted, with legacy-defining matchups often sidelined in favor of high-profile crossover events that generate massive pay-per-view sales. For Davis, the fight with Jake Paul isn't just about proving skill, it's about expanding his reach to a worldwide audience that extends beyond traditional boxing fans.
He's in a division where he's got killers all in his division. You know, Shakur, Haney, who's 147. You know, you look at Teo, for example, Keyshawn, and then you choose to fight someone like Paul. Surely that's a concern when you do look at it like that.
Yeah, but again, it's the world we're in. If you can get a huge amount of money to fight someone who's never boxed really before, you're going to do it. You know, Floyd Mayweather boxed Logan Paul with a huge weight disparity.
He was done by then. He was done. Like, this is an active world champion.
But it's the world we're in.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. You know, when it comes down to it. It's just like Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Two completely different sports. Was the biggest pay-per-view in recent times, wasn't it? Maybe if ever.
Those are like different comparisons, though, if you think about it. Do you not like?
Yeah, but the sport's in a wild place, isn't it? That's just, like, I'm just like the reality of where we are, you know. And I can't really say much when we're talking about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua at the same time.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think Tank should get stripped of his title?
Yeah, I think anyone who, just in general, doesn't defend their title to do something else should get stripped, because it shouldn't hold the belts up. You know, in any, like, I think that should be the reality in anything. You know, if you're not going to defend your belts, or you're not defending, sometimes there's the rules. Obviously, if you fight for a belt at a higher weight, you can retain the belt until there. But if you're not, don't have intention of defending the belts, you shouldn't hold the belts up. People should get the opportunity to fight for them.
What happened with the failed negotiations between AJ and Jake Paul?
I think anything's still possible. That was always discussed for next year. You know, this fight's November, early part of next year.
Former world champion Carl Froch didn't hold back, calling the entire situation an absolute joke. Froch claimed that negotiations for a Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight were nearly finalized, about 99% complete, before Paul suddenly pivoted to Davis, who is literally half Joshua's size. Froch found the move baffling and said it proved Jake Paul is more interested in shock value than genuine competition. His comments reflect what many boxing insiders believe, that Paul carefully selects opponents for maximum publicity and minimal risk. Facing Joshua would have been a monumental challenge, while fighting Davis turns the event into a sideshow.
But the fight against Jake Paul ain't going to happen anyway. It ain't going to happen. We can all believe it. Jake Paul.
Eddie Hearn said it's 99% done.
Because you know what? Jake Paul's done a great job in hustling Eddie. Yeah. He's going to get, so either Eddie's in on it, or he's let this young man hustling. Yeah. And so the kids kidded the kidders.
Well, listen, we've had a chat, we've caught up. We'll have another chat as well in a.
I'm going to do some sunbathing, man.
Days, bit of sunbathing. Top up the town.
Yes, I baby.
Might as well.
Black is the number.
Let us know in the comments below who you think wins the fight and what Anthony Joshua should be doing next. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Let us know in the comments below. This has been another episode of Froch on Fighting. Got the main man here, Johnny Nelson, aka
Blickman.
We'll see. He said it, not me. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Just here at Los Naranjos in Viva, España, and I found out that Gervonta Davis is now fighting Jake Paul. So Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ. Eddie Hearn announced 99% done, which we've just spoke about. What next for AJ? Potentially Jake Paul. But it now looks like that Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been playing?